Welcome to this video tutorial. My name is Michael Fiedler and I'm a member of the FlashCopy Manager development team. This video is the second in a three-part series that demonstrates how to use Tivoli FlashCopy Manager for a disaster recovery in an IBM Smart Cloud virtual environment. In this video, I will demonstrate using Tivoli Storage Productivity Center to provision the volumes to the ESX hosts, and then using the SVC user interface to configure the remote mirror relationship between the volumes, and finally using the vSphere client to configure the VMware environment. Let's get started with the second video in this series. At this point, I use the Tivoli Storage Productivity Center to provision the volumes that are later used as storage for the virtual machines. I have already configured both SVC storage devices, the vCenter server and the ESX hosts into TPC. Now I log on to the Tivoli Storage Productivity Center user interface and select Advanced Analytics, Cloud Configuration, and then select Work with Capacity Pools. As you can see, I have already created two capacity pools that contain the storage pools that I want to use for provisioning on the primary and secondary sides. I switch to Work with Service Classes to show the service classes that I've already created for each SVC storage device. These storage classes are used when I provision the storage to the ESX hosts. First, I select the ESX host at the primary side and click Provision Storage. I select Volume and type in the name and the capacity for the new volume. Now I can select the appropriate service class and capacity pool and click Next. TPC now creates a provisioning plan that I can immediately start or schedule to start later. I start the plan now and wait for the task to finish successfully. I repeat the same steps for the ESX host on the secondary side and provision a volume with the same size. This time I'm choosing the service class and capacity pool for the secondary SVC storage device. Again, TPC creates a provisioning plan that I will start immediately. Wait for the task to finish to complete the storage provisioning. At this point, I can switch over to the Storage Volume Controller user interface to configure the remote mirror relationship. To do this, select Remote Copy and create a new mirrored consistency group. Type in the name and then select the remote SVC for the mirror. Now select to add relationships to the group and specify the mirror type. I use Synchronous Metro Mirror for this example. Click Next to select the volumes for the relationship at each side. Select the volumes we have just created with Tivoli Storage Productivity Center and select Not Synchronized and click Next. Select Start the Consistency Group now to activate the mirror. Wait until it reaches the status Consistent Synchronized. The mirror is now active and ready to use. The next step is to configure the VMware data store and virtual machines. I use the vSphere client for this configuration. Select the ESX host where the mirrored volume is mapped to and click Configuration, Storage, Add Storage. Select the correct LAN that represents the mirrored volume. Specify a name for the new data store and finish the configuration wizard for the data store. When the data store is active, you can create virtual machines on it. Select New Virtual Machine, specify a name for the virtual machine, and then make sure it's placed on the data store we have just created. Complete the configuration wizard for the virtual machine and wait until it's active. At this point, we can use FlashCopy Manager to back up the virtual machine we have just created. At this point, we have successfully used Tivoli Storage Productivity Center to provision the volumes, the SVC user interface to create and configure the remote mirror relationship, and the vSphere client to create the VMware data store and virtual machines. To see how we complete a FlashCopy Manager backup, handle a failover and complete a restore, continue to the third video in this series. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me or any other IBM representative. I hope you find that this information is useful, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.